person up?
4 years. What is Harris promising black people in 4 years?
That was a valid question. That was a valid question.
Let's get the next person up.
I understand what you're saying.
Don't ever do that with me, though. Don't ever do that with me. You'll get your friend embarrassed. Play with your little friends.
I would never be embarrassed.
Out of order, especially for a woman that's a half-century old, older than anybody else on stage. With the job of maintaining a level of decorum on the panel, she did nothing but the opposite. That was to embarrass and shame anybody she didn't agree with.
As a former foster child, had I aged out, I would have only left the orphanage with a garbage bag full of clothes, and they would have given me a $700 check a month and told me good luck. So I think that it's disgusting, a spit in the face to kids like me who didn't ask to be born into the situations that we were born into, that we would never be able to qualify for the resources that are literally being given to somebody else.
Michaela, should is what's driving the vote.
Michaela, I would like to ask you a question.
Okay, hold on, guys.
Foster care in which state?
California. The same California that is giving $150,000 to illegal migrants, but if my sister, who just aged out of foster care 2 years ago, she wasn't.
Hold on, wait a minute. Then there's no point in talking about that destitute situation.
It is.
Let's move on.
Because right now people are being allocated resources, and we have people who need those resources. We're talking about the fact that we're not prioritizing American citizens.
No, but that wasn't what I asked you.
We're not prioritizing American citizens.
You heard me say at the beginning of what I said that I believe it should go to American citizens first. I said that, ma'am.
Okay.
I just asked you what was your response.
Fact that when we're talking about immigration, we understand that Republicans would not give out these resources.
That's all I wanted you to say.
My point is Democrats are only proposing that these resources go to a certain group, and black people need to pay attention to the fact that y'all won't get those resources.
Ma'am.
That's the point. Y'all go ahead. Y'all move on.
Ma'am.
I'm right.
We said that it's not about right or wrong.
It is right.
No, it's not.
It is right.
I just want to know.
Black people won't get those resources, and therefore you should not vote for a Democrat who will allow foster children, veterans who lost limbs fighting for this country, veterans like you and this man here, not get those resources.
We agree. Girl, relax.
So if Democrats are giving them out, then why haven't Democrats given them to black people?
I'm not talking about no Democrats. I asked
why
what was your
giving them to black people?
Is something wrong with her?
No,
there's something wrong with her.
See, this clown tried to disrespect and clown the other woman the whole time, while creating this love and hip-hop circus with her nasty, condescending attitude. I'm talking about an agent of chaos. She would get everybody hyped up and then say, relax, relax, relax. She'll deflect by telling them to relax over and over again, then pointing at them like something is wrong with them. With the guy, she's like, it's something on your mouth. She used that to make him be quiet.
In the comments,
from abortion, but that don't mean that I don't know that it's wrong.
Right.
See, one of the issues we have in our community, the issue that we have in our community.
Hold on, tone it down. Relax.
Fair enough.
Come on, you foaming at the mouth. Relax, baby. Relax. You foaming. Relax.
Then with the woman, she's like, is something wrong with her?
Giving them to black people.
I'm not talking about no Democrats. I asked
why
what was your
giving them to black people?
Is something wrong with her?
No,
there's something wrong with her.
Like, ma'am, everybody can see what you're doing. You don't have this position right now because you're intelligent. There's nothing feminine about this woman. There's an energy about a feminine woman that could still get the job done and communicate to everybody more effectively to actually have a decent conversation. This whole conversation is pointless because it's only filled with shame, insult, and guilt tactics, along with this hound dog energy.
Y'all see how she's trying to switch it to make it seem like something's wrong with me when all I'm trying to do is point out the fact that black people are not being prioritized in the administration. Therefore, when you ask about what Republicans are doing for us, what are Democrats doing for y'all? Besides putting you last.
Nobody asked you that.
Thank you.
Nobody asked you that. What I'm asking you now is to let young
John, please go ahead and share your thoughts.
I'm asking to share your thoughts. I didn't ask you any of that. Girl, relax.
I had to put it in there because I saw where you were trying to pigeonhole it, and I wasn't going
there. I just asked you a simple question. You the one that was at Chick-fil-A, wasn't you?
No, yeah, it was me.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
What does that mean? Does that prove a point of some sort?
No, I just want to know. It's a simple question. Why y'all can't answer simple questions? What's wrong with it? Let us finish. Girl, relax.
No, but people try to associate Chick-fil-A.
No, I asked because I wanted to make sure there was one because you was in there.
But I was also the girl who spoke at the rally.
And so was I.
I'm also the girl who mobilizes HBCU students every year. I'm also the one who provides internships and jobs to these kids. So stop acting like all I am is a girl that showed up at Chick-fil-A. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Do you want to do the receipts again?
If I had the opportunity to meet a president and it happened to be a Chick-fil-A, I'm going. I'm going. If I can meet a president, you gonna lose every time. How many people in this room have met a president? Okay,
can you let him
care
speak?
where you meet him at? If I ran in a truck at a gas station, I would have been just as excited.
The anger and jealousy that was oozing out of this insecure, immature woman that's nearly 50 years old is crazy. She should have the wisdom of a grandmother by now, and it's not normal to behave like this. 100% out of order.
It's my show, man. See, that's the problem. You keep the business. Ain't but one sister on here that on Fox News. Ain't but one that do 100 hits on Fox News. They don't call this sister. They call me.
They call me.
But how many you do a year? How many do you do a year?
I've literally done 30 in the
Baby,
past
I do 100 every
in
year.
a year. And I've said what I
do
did in the last 2 months.
I do 100 per year.
And I just came on the scene.
I'm a big dog.
The jealousy that was clearly displayed on stage for a woman half her age was super embarrassing and real life proof of what I'm always telling young women. But listen, there was a lot of gaslighting on TV the night this was broadcasting. I have to say though, Revolt was the worst. It was unprofessional, embarrassing, chaotic, and as long as they have that hyena they call the host of the show on there, they should never be taken seriously. Yeah, I can blame her, but that's not enough. I gotta place the responsibility at the feet of whoever's running Revolt now. It's not Diddy, so who knows who it is. It was definitely the most serious, unserious program that night because they allowed this woman to come in there and orchestrate so much chaos and turn everything into this big joke. This lady is a liability. She had your audience members about to fight each other physically. And I'm surprised there wasn't a fight on stage. They tried to turn Magic City into Fight Night and package it to viewers as a real news program. Yeah, absolutely crazy. I had to get that out of the way first. Whoever's greenlighting this chaos over at Revolt, you're the problem. Now, the horrible host of this awful Revolt 5th grade news show, she had it out for Michaela Montgomery the whole night after this comment was made.
And I do want to say this, and this is, Tez, I know you said one thing, you said, hey, you sitting next to a big dog, but out of that whole stage right there, if Trump wins, only one of y'all going to the White House, and that's Michaela right there. And so we got to be honest on what we got to know. We have to know. What I'm saying is, hold on, out of the whole crowd, only one person, hold on, let me just.
Now, I have to say the moderator was already on 100 before. She was cutting everybody off, asking questions, not letting anybody else answer after she posed a question to them, ultimately attempting to babble and argue her way to answer her own questions. She was doing that from the beginning of the show, but when he made that comment, she spiraled out of control and started comparing herself to the woman that's half her age on stage.
Go ahead, brother.
And this is why black people
finish.
And when it comes down to
finish your comment, baby.
When it comes down to a divide,
focus on
when it comes down to a divide in our community, this is why, because we're talking about everybody being so politically correct instead of in 4 years, what are we going to get? You mentioned chaos. Black people have been in chaos way before this debate ever started. We're in chaos in the homeless shelters. We're in chaos when it comes to the Department of Labor. We're in chaos the fact that Jock has to bring out laptops for the kids because there's not enough resources in our community. Right. And so when we have a sister with a different opinion than ours, it's about giving that respect. The fact that...
hold on, wait a minute. Wait, no, you're not. No, I'm going to stop you because you're going on and on. And this sister here is the one that invited this sister. So if I did not respect this sister, she wouldn't be sitting here. You're going to put some respect on that. We're not going to sit up here. No, you can get frustrated and look down and all of that. Relax. Well, we got to make sure we're very clear. This platform was designed to bring this sister here. So if there was no respect for this sister, she wouldn't be here. So let's make sure we're using the right context, brother. I don't mind you making the point about one sister going. This is the only sister on this stage that want to go. So let's also make that clear, because I don't work in no White House. So I want to be clear about that. Everybody ain't trying to get a job in the White House. You can continue, but let's not act like she's not respected, because she is. We just have a difference of opinion.
When people are yelling about who's a big dog,
I am a big dog.
And what I'm saying is,
I'm a big dog.
Out of this whole stage, only one person was standing on the stage with a presidential candidate.
Only one person on this stage flipped Michigan. And only one person on this stage organized over 2,000 people every year. Only one person was the racial justice director for Bernie Sanders. Only one, because remember, you don't want to do resumes, because the sister already said she don't have no resume. So you might want to back that. Yeah, you did. You said you don't have like resume. Ain't but one sister, the senior public policy advisor for Ben Crump. Let's go on to the next. Ain't but one sister signed the front of the check for 1,000 people. Oh, baby, I know you don't want to start doing the only sister. I know you don't want to start doing the only sister receipts, because ain't but one sister served in the United States Air Force. Let's go on to the next person because I don't like the passive aggressive diss because I run these receipts down. So let's go on because ain't but one sister served this country on this here panel.
4 years from now, black people have to decide what they're going to get at the end of the year. At the end of
to a whole veteran,
and we're dealing with the disrespect right here. 4 years. What are black people going to get at the?
Because you heard her say she don't have the resume that I got. So go on to the next sister. I'm not gonna handle your passive aggressive distance, baby. I run these receipts down on you. I run these receipts down on you. You talking to a whole veteran. So baby, ain't nobody impressed about working in no White House. I done turned it down. Ain't but one sister on here that on Fox News. Ain't but one that do 100 hits on Fox News. They don't call this sister. They call me. How many you do a year? How many do you do a year?
I've literally done 30 in the
Baby, I do 100 every year.
And I've said what I
do 100 per year. I do 100 per year.
And I just came on the scene.
I'm a big dog.
By the end of the year,
I love my
maybe I'll be
sister.
there.
I love my sister, but you're not going to divide us.
But you can't deny both of
The real thing is going to be, we need to really talk about black people in 4 years. What are we going to get in 4 years? Let's not talk about the criminal. Let's not talk about the charges. 4 years. What are we going to? What is Harris promising black people in 4 years?
That was a valid question. That was a valid
question. Let's get the next person up. Let's get the next person up.
I understand what you're saying.
Don't ever do that with me though. Don't ever do that with me. You'll get your friend embarrassed. Play with your little friends.
I would never be embarrassed.
This was the most idiotic crash out response ever. It was actually a comment that didn't even need a response. But her ego and low self-esteem couldn't handle another woman being perceived as being in a better position than her. Super unnecessary. She was so jealous she escalated the whole situation to outright disrespect towards the other woman. See, young ladies, I've been saying this for a long time now, and I know some people didn't want to accept it, really the older ones still running interference. You can't get the advice you need from them, you can't get the support you need from them, because they really have an agenda to sabotage you. They put bad ideas in your head and steer you into destruction, loneliness, misery, and struggle. Why? Because misery needs company. They won't tell you that they messed up in life, so don't be like them. No, they do the opposite. They tell you to do exactly what they did so you end up in the same spot. For years, I've been telling you that they've been recruiting all the younger women to be like them. And if you don't join the Black feminism sorority of lifelong degeneracy and failure, then they will bully you and make you feel like an outsider. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't feel bad about being an outsider because the levels of the devil that's inside with them, that's some heat you don't want to feel. You don't see any femininity. That's a very bad look. No amount of makeup and weave can hide that unpleasant energy. It's a repellent not only to men, but women too. And women, you have to stay away from it because it'll rub off on you. If you're a day one supporter, you already know my favorite law. Avoid the unhappy, avoid the unlucky. This is why. This is not feminine or inspirational. Nothing pretty about it at all. Very ugly behavior. And it doesn't matter if you agree with the guest. As a moderator of a debate, your job isn't to argue with the participants. You're supposed to be there to maintain decorum in the conversation, not cause chaos and stir everybody up. I have to show you this. The Jezebel energy was so strong, it permeated through the whole building. The audience members even started arguing with each other.
Yeah, I just want to speak to the people in the Christian community. As a Christian, I'm actually very disappointed in some of their point of views, including the rights. Tell people, I've heard a couple of conversations, people saying that a man can't tell me what I need to do with my body. But as a Christian, I just feel like, how can you agree with something or someone who says, when the Lord had already said, do not murder? So how can you agree with somebody who said, yeah, let's go ahead and abort, even when they have came out the womb? You know what I'm saying? And then the lady back there who said, Kara, was that your name? Who said, how can we agree with someone who said, grab people by the vagina? Well, as a Christian, I'm agreeing with Trump, and I don't identify with necessarily either party, but this year I am Team Trump because of his policies. Most of the ones, when I go by line, they agree with Jesus' principles that's laid out in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be mad at someone who half of his principles is aligned with the Bible. I can't disagree with someone who is against the LGBTQIA, DEI plus agendas with men, including men, you know, playing in women's sports. I cannot agree with someone who's going to go ahead and take away our gun reform when in the Bible, Jesus is actually for us protecting ourselves. Somewhere in Luke, he definitely said, here's 2 swords. Okay. That is enough.
So let's let the, because she was talking to her in the pink, so she wanted to comment. Come on, sis, because we're running out of time.
Okay. The first thing God called us to do is love.
Correct.
And I think a lot of our speech, yes, 100% has been inflammatory, but he's called us to love and not judge.
Correct.
Second thing God gave us is free will. It's not up to us to decide the cost of somebody's sins and how we're going to act out this person's punishment. So when you sit there and say that Trump's policies align with Jesus Christ, do you hear his speech? Do you hear his speech though?
He can work on his heart.
But God says in the Bible, judge a man by his fruits. His fruits. Hold on. Please don't talk over me. His fruits are inflammatory. His fruits are rotten. So please don't disrespect my Jesus Christ like that. Okay, my family was and let me also go back just a little bit more. My family was very instrumental. And let me also say, my family was very instrumental. Is this mic on? Can people hear me?
I feel like it was either. But go ahead, we can't hear you.
Yeah.
And I'm also saying this as a person whose family was instrumental in founding the AME church. I don't know where your relationship with God went wrong, and I'll retract that because I can't judge where you're. But I think you need to go back to the Bible a little bit more and have some one-on-one time with Him to really think about whether the person that you're calling to represent this country actually represents Jesus Christ, or whether he's actually thwarting Jesus' word.
You said that I'm disrespecting Jesus Christ, but what is disrespectful when he is the one who creates life? I think anybody who's a Christian can say he is the end all be all. He is the Alpha and Omega. He is the only one responsible for life. So what is disrespectful to the Lord Jesus Christ is him giving you a baby and giving you life and you dropping it at his feet saying, I don't want it because you don't want to control who you having sex with. If you do not want to have a baby with somebody that you don't want a baby with, you don't need to be having sex with that person. Maybe you need to close your legs. Maybe that's what you need to do because you just don't want to be responsible with your body count. You want to use the I don't want a man telling me what to do with my body as an output and as an excuse. But that is not. You telling me I'm disrespectful and I need to revisit. Maybe you need to revisit.
Okay, so we can relax. We wanted to pass. We want nobody we got
irrelevant conversation.
How is it irrelevant if we're talking about policies?
Sis, hold on.
It's irrelevant, young lady. It's irrelevant because there's this such thing called separation between church and state. Your religious beliefs, if you will just let me finish, your religious beliefs do not supersede my right as an American to not subscribe to that if I so choose. The government does not allow, the government is not inside my bedroom. The government shouldn't be inside your bedroom.
And side note, ever since she said something about LGBT, the woman in the audience, this one right here started looking more and more like Billy Porter. I already told you, most of the black men like the Roland Martins, the Bakari sellouts, the ones trying to stop us from running away from the Democrat plantation, they're either flaming hot like Billy Porter or low-key Andrew Gillum. It's a lot of questionable sassiness. And if it's not that, the beta male tendencies are screaming out loud.
You should probably just take your religious beliefs and have them inside of your house of faith.
I can't.
So we're done. Hold on. We're moving on.
I just want to make one
No.
sentence.
I can't because they're literally having me. We got to move on. We got to move on.
And you got to respect me. I don't know who you think you talking to, but I can get up in here real quick because I was respecting her authority. If she has authority, there's no need for you to jump in when somebody else is speaking. You have been on 10 since we've been in here. You need to take your emotions out of it because I am listening to everybody else's opinion. It's you who need to take your authority out.
Ooh. Y'all, it's all right, y'all. It's okay. Like, it's okay. It's all right. I'm with you. Like, y'all get so paranoid. So no,
it's all right. Sometimes furniture gets moved.
Yeah, and sometimes furniture needs to get moved.
Fairness,
Revolt now. You think you all lost with Diddy. That should have been enough this year. And now you're following up with this buffoonery? You have a whole liability on your hands. This is absolutely horrible. Whoever is responsible for greenlighting this over there, you're the problem right now and you have to fix it. Please understand, all of this popped off from the tension and the environment created by the host. She said she's a big dog like 10 times. And shout out to Michaela, who was on the show. Again, this woman is pushing 50. Michaela is in her late 20s. And this is why it's so hard for millennials and Gen Z to even respect women like her. They're all caught up into their own selfish thoughts. They love hiding behind fake activism when they're really only for self. They're just out to get whatever they can for themselves and figure out how to make their miserable lives look attractive for TV and IG. It's the same energy that's been destroying the Black community. For all the young ladies out there, don't be like this lady. It really sucks to be 50 years old, still spewing baby bop bimbo babble, and being so jealous and insecure that you can't get through a show without taking more shots at the younger woman because you want to prove that you don't want to be in her position while bragging that you have more experience than a woman young enough to be your daughter. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Let me know what you think about this mess in the comments. Special thank you to Christine. I appreciate you, Christine, for all of your support, as well as Charles and Gerald. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.